All right. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to citizens to be heard. This is the opportunity for citizens, visitors, and guests to address the City Council on any issue, any item on the agenda in compliance with LGC Section 551.007. City Council may not discuss any presented issue nor any action be taken on any issue at this time. Citizens to be heard are limited to 3 minutes each. Attorney General Opinion JC 0169. So I know we have a few folks that already signed up. If you need to sign in, let me know. But all the folks that I see on here are actually on an agenda item that is in the on the schedule. So is there anybody that needs to be heard because they're not on the agenda, but they need to pass some information? You have something? Okay. You can come in and go ahead. Just remember, there's no discussion. You get 3 minutes and just to be able to present your information. Okay.
Thank you. My name is Mayun Charles Vogt. I live at 15124 Magnolia Street, and all I'm really here to do is to say thank you. I want to say thank you to the mayor, and thank you to City Council Richard Hughes, and to everyone that participated in making something happen at on Magnolia Street. For 2 years, I had put in a petition, and the petition was to have something done about the speed that traffic was really, not only they're going over 30 miles per hour for sure, but we wanted something done. And we finally got stop signs placed. And so I'm really pleased, and I came here to do a petition, and I came here to say thank you very much for honoring that petition. I appreciate that very much. You can give yourself a clap.
I just want to give you a little bit. So you mentioned Richard. Richie was part of this. And then you had Public Works also being able to help
Public Works, yes. Thank you very much, everybody.
So good.
We love it.
Thank you for the feedback, man.
And we have gotten good feedback from the residents on Magnolia Street. And it is a lot better on that street. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but we have noticed that it is working.
Awesome.
Amen?
Thank you for your feedback, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, and do we have anybody else? Going once, going twice. All right, let's go ahead and move on to item number 5, consent agenda. Consider approval of the minutes, May the 28th, 2025 special meeting.
Mayor, I'd
like to start by making a motion to approve the meeting minutes for May the 28th, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I would second that, but there's a change to the minutes.
Okay, got a second on the motion. Okay, now open for discussion.
Yes, on the discussion that happened after the executive session, a motion was made, and the minutes reflect that I made both a motion and a second. I don't think I did. Michael Rodriguez made the motion. I made the second, so if you would correct that,
okay,
I'd be happy.
In addition, item 7F, inside the motion, would you please notate that the amount was not to exceed $9,000?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, anything else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you so much. Thank you for the updates on that. Let's go ahead and move on to B, consider approval of the payment of the bills.
Mayor, I'd like to start by making a motion to approve the payment of the bills as presented.
Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Richard, got a second. Okay, discussion.
I have a question on the rebill for the 2 fire hydrants, that $23K. Is that part of the budget? Is that something we knew about, or is this something that happened that we had to have those rebills? And that would have been for the Texas Rebuild LLC.
Yeah, so they were not originally planned work, but they needed to be replaced. But it did fit within the budget amount that we had.
So there was a replacement item?
Correct. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, any other questions? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas, motion carries forward. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to our first one, which is our public hearing. This is to conduct a public hearing concerning the application by Marie Lytle to locate a manufactured home to the property legally described as A0817H Rancine Survey 517 acre 1.0, generally located west of San Jose Street and south of Juarez Street, with the address being 63344 Juarez Street, Lytle, Texas. Let's go ahead and show it being 6:40 for the public hearing to open. And we will have an action item on this. This is for anybody that wants to say anything concerning before we go into the action item. Is there anybody in the audience who'd like to say anything? Going once. Nope, this is for others. You will get a chance. This is a public hearing. We got to give residents and other people that got notified an opportunity, just like it happened in the other meeting. We do the same here in the council. Okay? Going once. Going twice. Okay. No comments. We can go ahead and show it is 6:41, and we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the action items. And the first one that we have is item number 7, open session. Take action on the item discussed. Consideration and possible action concerning an application by Marie Lytle to locate a manufactured home on the property legally described as A0817H Rancine Survey 517 acres 1.0, generally located west of San Jose Street and south of Juarez Street, with the address being 63344 Juarez Street, Lytle, Texas. Zach. And I know we have folks here too.
Yes, so Mayor and Council, this particular request is for placing a manufactured home on the lot as indicated, 63344 Juarez Street. If you're not familiar with the lot, unfortunately, there was a fire in the destroying the structure that was there, the single-family home, and so the owners are looking to obviously get back into a home instead of sleeping in their car as they've indicated to us and things like that. And so they obviously have made this request. It went through the Manufactured Home Commission, and they are recommending approval to y'all. And so it is in front of y'all this evening. I know the owners are here. So.
Yes. Would you like to say anything or share anything before we put it up to the council? Come on up. Just go ahead and introduce yourself and also your address.
All right. My name is Ernesto Leak. Address 63344 Juarez Street, Lytle 78052. I'm just requesting to be able to have a home so that way I can bring my mother back home. Just tired of sleeping in cars and sleeping in a shed. I'm just ready to go home very badly. That's pretty much all I gotta say. I mean, I'm grateful. I just want to go home.
Appreciate it.
This mobile home or manufactured home was a primary residence?
The home that was there before was a house.
Oh, it was a house?
Yes, it was a house that I had there.
So the picture that you show is a different, I guess it's on the property. That was
the house that was already on the property, yes. I know, they put it up on cinder blocks.
I'm sorry, Melissa, I'm with Oak Creek Homes here in Lytle. He's buying a home from us. They requested, the city, Ernesto said they needed a picture of a final project of what it would look like. So actually those are 2 or 3 different homes. You'll see one looks like it's on one of our lots, and you see this, I want y'all to see that it's going to be fully skirted, and it's going to have small decks, which I've done business in Lytle before, so I realize what y'all's requirements are. So
it is a new one?
Brand new. It'll be a 2026. Yes, sir.
All right.
Yep. Do you want to make a motion? Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the manufactured home on property legal described at A0817 Rancine Survey 517 acres 1, generally located west of San Jose Street and south of Juarez Street, with the address being 63344 Juarez Street, Lytle, Texas. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. Got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Got the second. Discussion now.
I'm just curious, single wide, double wide,
Double. It's 28 by 54.
new, used?
Brand new, 2026. We're going to build it as soon as y'all give us
Smaller one,
approval.
right?
Yeah, so what is that, about 1,400 square feet?
Oh,
14,
pretty
28 by
nice.
54. I have a floor plan if y'all need to see it.
Yeah.
I brought everything just in case.
Be able, it's up to the council. Zach, did we have any issues with the size of the lot or anything at all?
They got a lot of
They'll
room.
they'll have to meet all the setback requirements as usual, and
There's no
I know that
problem.
they're
There's no
familiar with
problem.
that, but no, it should be
Okay.
good.
I think they have a lot of room there.
Yes.
Yes.
Your mom doing okay?
Yeah, she's doing all right. I mean, I got
Give her
her
our
staying over
regards
there.
that we wish her well.
I will. She's, like I said, I come home from work, she's like, it's like I'm working.
No, I understand.
So I'm grateful. I mean, I'm very
So
grateful.
council, just to help speed up the process and also help a little bit, I will ask for an amendment to the motion. There's two things that are going to happen when they put in to go ahead and ask for the permitting to go in there. One of the unique requirements that we actually have is that we have a permit before they move it into the city. They have to get a permit before they move it in, and then the regular permit is the one with the installation when you get the inspections.
Correct.
So I asked the council for consideration for us to go ahead and waive the fee that goes along with, based on him losing the home and trying to get it in there. That way we can help him. They don't have to do one, wait for that, and then do the other one once they get started with
So
that.
the first fee or both fees?
The first fee.
First fee.
Yeah, we have to keep the normal one with the inspection and everything. That has to stay, because we need to make sure. But
Do I have to make that motion?
you have to
Just make an
amend the motion.
Do I say the whole thing or just amend it? Just that little part?
We can just say
Like
amend.
that-
Yes, you
like-
can just say, you can just
Make
say.
an amendment to this motion to add that we will take care of the one permit,
The move-in
the
permit.
move-in permit.
Okay.
Alright?
Okay.
And I
Got it.
second.
You got a
the
second then?
amendment.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. All right, council, all those in favor with the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
Work with Zach.
Yes.
Work with Zach and Paola, okay? So you guys can take care of it, and there is some steps we're gonna follow. We'll try to do as quickly, but we got to take care of the legal portion of it, of the inspections and all that, but just work with them. But then we already saved you one step. That'll make it a lot easier for you too,
I'm
okay?
grateful.
I'm amazed. I've been doing this 29 years. The city kind of makes me happy to live here.
Well, we appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you for taking care of him.
Thank you for all my emails every time. Very entertaining.
Think good council, good police people.
All right. Thank you, council. Appreciate that. You're welcome. You're welcome to stay. Ernesto, you guys are welcome to stay, or you can leave. It's totally up to you all. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and move on to B. This is discussion and possible action concerning an update Chamber of Commerce and the Shops of Lytle. All right. How you doing, ma'am? Come on up. Catherine.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Secretary, Ms. Paul. I'm sorry, I have not met you yet, but I'm guessing you're the new city attorney?
Yes, Austin Beck. Nice to meet you.
Austin Beck. Nice to meet you. I am Catherine Vaughn. I am the new president of the Greater Lytle Area Chamber of Commerce. I was elected on April the 16th, so I am very new to this position. Prior to that, I was the secretary and treasurer and had I've had quite a bit of experience working within the city, with businesses, with other organizations. I am proud to say that one of the programs in which the chamber does do is the Pirate Santa, which the last December 2024 we helped. I want to say it was 43 families, and we helped 187 children. And these are children from newborn all the way up to 17, 18 years old. If they go to Lytle, if they are in the Lytle ISD system and they are 18, they still get gifts. And that's because we realize that they are still in school and they should not feel excluded because, they're 18. We did help a lot of younger children. want to say we had at least 20 that were in between the ages of 3 months and 2 years, or almost 3 years. And that's really big because the families that do have kids in the school system still have younger kids as well. And we were able to get donations to help take care of them. So that is my, that's the biggest plus for me as being a member of the chamber. So I know that I am here to speak on our updates. I am probably the biggest update so far because I have not held this position before. And I am looking to do good, positive things within this organization. I like working with Mayor Gonzalez and the things that he likes to do within the city. I mean, how many times have we run into school events, community events, and we're just, hey, how's it going? So
I think because of that relationship that the chamber has had throughout the years and where we're actually at, that was one of the reasons why we decided to come up with an agreement, a support, where we help each other out and create the Shops of Lytle, right?
Correct, sir.
And with the Shops of Lytle, one of the things that we have is to be able to come to the council and just give us an update how things are going, how's it working out, because we provide some assistance, monetary assistance, to be able to pay for half of the pay for one of the employees. So it's a great opportunity for us to kind of get an idea of how's it going, how the Shops of Lytle are doing, and just a big overall impact, basically.
So I did bring in our guest book, which actually gives a look into the fact that people do come in, and there's a lot of positive feedback on here. There's a lot of positive feedback through Square as well. When they leave, feedback, once they receive a receipt in their email, they can then go ahead and say, wonderful place, or they can say, this person helped me out today, they were amazing. We have quite a bit of feedback in terms of that. We currently have 15 vendors within within the Shops of Lytle. It was, let me see. In April, we saw a total of 283 guests that visited within the Shops of Lytle. Some of the things that did hinder weekend progress was the Strawberry Festival, because there were a lot of people that were in Poteet versus being in the area. Also the fiesta that kind of takes people out and away from Lytle. We did acquire UPS within our shops so that we can be a drop-off and pick-up location, because not everybody wants to go into San Antonio to drop off a package or to pick up a package, because if me personally, most of my packages have to go to the post office, and that's if I'm lucky to be able to send them there. When they are UPS or FedEx, it's a little bit harder because they don't recognize any of my addresses as a drop-off location. So that's where the Shops of Lytle they do come in handy as a drop-off location and a pickup location. We do currently have 4 people that kind of share the time. One is 100% volunteer. She wants to see the shops, benefit from being here within the city. And so she does not take a salary. She does not take pay. And I do appreciate that, because that is really a big help. And I want to say she's there 3.5 days out of the week, and it's a 6-day week. So the other 3 kind of share and split responsibilities. So we also, when it comes to the shops, we are looking at some events to bring in, learn how to make bracelets, learn how to sew, learn how to crochet, painting classes, things that you can do there and take home and flourish. Because what do most of our vendors are handcrafted vendors. So they're making aprons and bracelets, jewelry of all kinds, paintings. At one point, I know that I bought quite a few, but there was one vendor that sold stickers and temporary tattoos. That's a craft that I know that I cannot do. But I could learn, and I think that's where these events would come in handy, by teaching other people within the city to be able to learn these talents, and that's where these vendors come in, and their expertise.
Yeah, and Christmas, it's awesome over there.
Well,
you can find every little thing that you want to be able to buy for gifts at Christmas.
Well, and we bring in the parents when we have build your own snow globes. And so we've done crystal glasses where they can build like a little snowscape, but also actual snow globes. And so we have done that quite often. We've done a movie night to bring in the kids, because sometimes the parents just want to relax. Put on a movie, the kids can do that. I mean, I realize when you're building something, you probably do have to watch the child and see that they're, not breaking anything, making, too much of a mess. But they still get to relax because there's people there helping them.
To your vendors, so 15 vendors, are they, these are average, they're with the Shops of Lytle for a year, a couple years, these 15 vendors, they high rotation, low rotation of people. Just wondering how that's going with the vendors.
Huh?
We've had some new ones.
We have had some new ones. I do want to say that a couple of our vendors have been there since the beginning.
Yeah, right.
So that's some longevity there. That's really good, and they enjoy having a place to do their crafts without having to be, say, at a market outside. I mean, do they still want to do markets? Yes, they do. But to be able to have some place constantly where their goods are being shown to customers, yes, that is beneficial for them. And they actually appreciate going and setting up in there and when they go in and replenish their stock, they get to talk with the other vendors and they learn a little bit about each other. So it builds a community as well within those vendors.
Well, that works out really good. Okay, how about the financial stability? How's it going with the overall, the Shops of Lytle, based on what we've been able to provide and assist? How's that going monetarily in a sense of what you all trying to do?
So with the assistance that we've received from the city, it has helped keep the doors open. I don't believe with the 15 vendors that we have right now that if we didn't have that assistance that we could keep the doors open. And just like any business has struggles, we do have struggles, but it's not something that we feel is detrimental to the Shops of Lytle, to the chamber, to the city, because we do have that consistency with the vendors. We have the relationship with those vendors. We have relationships with the people of Lytle and those that have come through. We've had people from Oklahoma that have actually shopped online from some of our vendors, simply because they came in, saw the product, enjoyed it, and then wanted to buy more. So when we help our vendors build their business, it helps even outside of Lytle.
So the stability is good?
Yes.
Okay.
Stability is
I'll make sure that council has an idea of how well it's going.
I do enjoy the feedback that we get just from people that live local. They come in, they say, oh, we didn't know it was here. Well, it takes a little bit for people to get that far down Main Street sometimes. And so when they finally get there and they see what crafts are in there, they are very excited to say, I can go in there, buy a teacher's gift, Mother's Day gift, Christmas gift, a Valentine's Day gift for a loved one. At one point, I even saw flowers that I wanted to get for my husband's grandparents' gravesite. And so that was one of the things that, I was looking into, because there was a vendor that came in and did that for us. I do appreciate our Secretary Treasurer Pamela Fintel, who comes in and does the the books, and she has maintained a good relationship with the vendors. She has maintained a good working relationship with the other 3 ladies that come in. She loves supporting local business, and that is what this is about. It's really about supporting local, because some people don't have that support. And the Shops of Lytle is definitely a place where if they need it, they can come and get it.
Support the local, support the Welcome Center. It goes along with that. Zach, is there anything in a sense that we need to get officially or anything?
No, Catherine and I are working on, updating the contract, so just so council knows that, but that'll be, as we go into budget and stuff, looking at that, so.
Okie dokie. Council, anything else? Is just an update? Any questions or anything?
So update on what's considered a contract. From my records, we've only made 1 contribution. That's true.
We've had a continual contribution.
The council only voted for 1 contribution of $35,000, and that was back in November of what was the date? That was November of 2022.
Okay.
There has been no other approvals from the council. Last year, or in 2023, we were reviewing again, but we had asked for additional documentation.
Yes, sir.
We didn't receive anything.
Okay.
In 2023, we were supposed to get an update, and it didn't follow through.
Yep.
So the only money that the council has spent thus far has been $35K.
So I'd have to go back to double check how much is spent. I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, if you would, because that's, according to my records, that's all we approved.
Yeah.
So you're correct in the sense of getting the documentation to go along with that, but I know that when we brought it forward in the budget, it was already included in there.
Well, we had questions in order to
It will,
continue.
but when it got approved, it actually was included in there.
So what you're saying is there were additional monies.
That's why I said I think it's been continual, but again, I can pull the numbers to
Yes,
give you
if you would,
accurate.
and find out what we spent today.
Yes.
Because there was a lot of questions that I had.
Sure.
That I want to see what this money's going for.
Yep.
And from what I see, yes, it's a good project to support the Shops of Lytle, but then also, what is it that the city's getting in addition to this? Because you can't be throwing money into one commercial entity and not support the other businesses in Lytle.
So the Shops of Lytle is also the the Lytle Visitor Center.
Right,
So-
and that's the portion that I want to find out. Because if they're not interacting with the Music Fest, if they're not interacting with the fireworks, for example, then they're not benefiting the city of Lytle. And that's what I want to see. I could
You
be
mean
totally wrong.
The Shops of Lytle working
No, the
with
visiting center. So
The dissemination of the information.
yeah, because when it first came in, we were going to pay for the salary of one person.
Okay.
And that one person was supposed to help with not only the visitor center, but we were going to find out what additional they were going to do. Like, were they going to work with the city? Were they going to help with the website? Were they going to give information? We never got that down to, we never got that information pinpointed. So that's what I'm trying to find out.
I'll be honest with you, I have not been privileged to that information. So I will actually go back and start asking a lot more questions, because that's not information that I've heard before tonight. So that is something I will look into personally, because I'm trying my best right now.
Get with Zach, okay? And we can go ahead and review what we actually have. And you're correct in the sense of the documentation and what we actually need to do to try to take care of that and be able to do that. And the focus, just like you mentioned, it would be more in the welcoming center side, about dissemination of information and passing information, pointing people to the different places, when they stop by, when they're looking for certain things or they're trying to do certain things. That's what it's all about. Okay? So get with Zach. Good point.
The other item was the UPS. Why is there not signage for that? Usually when you pass by UPS drop-off center, you see signage everywhere, and it's very hard not to notice it. I don't see anything in the Shops of Lytle.
I thought there was a sign on the door.
It may be on the door, but you're talking about a small pack. I'm talking about something that's that you can see when you're driving off the road, and it's right there. I don't see that. Are we an official UPS drop-off location, or is it?
Yes.
It is, so...
It's not a UPS store, I understand that.
So you can drop off and do all that, but they don't have like the actual equipment, to be able... So if you print the labels, you have everything, you can bring it over and drop it off, and they pick it up and do that. So it is a transition point, in the sense of sending and receiving, but it's not a one where you have the scale and all that other stuff.
Okay. So we couldn't print labels and stuff like that?
No, they have to print them.
Mailbox.
But it makes it very, very convenient, and I can't tell you how many people have said, "Hey, this is a huge thing for us to be able to do this."
We use it at the police department.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. It does help. You don't have to go to Palo Alto just to...
So maybe if you can, Catherine, maybe add a little bit of that information into the report of how many packages, what do you do, add that into the report so we can go ahead and include it in there.
So I'm just trying to be transparent. I want to make sure that the money that the city is spending or contributing here does benefit the city, and not just one particular entity.
I'm probably the most transparent person because I've got 3 children and I want them to grow up to be good human beings. And the only thing that I ask from them is to be honest, to be trustworthy, and to never do anything unkind to a fellow human being. And that's all I ask of them. They can yell at me, they can scream at me when they have feelings, but all I ask is that they treat everybody else.
Kids yell at their parents? Is that possible?
Well, maybe when I'm yelling at him on the baseball field, but
No, that's greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Okay. Catherine, thank you so much. Appreciate the chamber. We have our members here too. You can introduce your members also that are here in attendance.
So we have Mike Vasquez. He is our vice president. And then Pamela Fentel, who is our secretary and treasurer. Our board member, Judy Newman, is not able to be here tonight, but she's a board member. So, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you for the update. Work with Zach, and then we'll funnel the information back. Okay?
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Council, let's go ahead and keep going. Let's go ahead and go to C, consideration and possible action concerning a request from Domingo Rascon regarding the quality of work of the new internet service being completed at Saddle Ridge subdivision. Sir, come on up.
I'd like to say first, thank you, Mayor and Council, for the opportunity. My name is Domingo Rascon. My wife and I, Jamie, my wife, we live at Saddle Ridge, 19938 Lonesome Dove. Sorry, I'm kind of a little bit on the nervous side, but thank you for the opportunity to voice our concerns. I think it's Rise Band that is putting in some upgrades on the internet out there, but I'm all up for upgrades and all that. That's not the issue. It's just I brought some photos, some pictures that I took. I don't know if I passed them out or how to.
Did we go to?
I did not get them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to pass it around, you can pass it around.
I've been told I give a lot of minutia, but I'll just give you what I have for right now. Those 5 that you're seeing there. After we got a rain, it was a nice blessing to get the rain. It's visible that there's going to be some issues because where they're at, the drainage of those boxes, where they were boring across the street on Lonesome Dove, where we live. They're supposed to go, I believe, about 2 feet or something in the easement. By the time they got all the way down to, I think it was Doc Holliday or Huckleberry down there, they're 4 feet. So the guys digging out for those boxes had to literally dig 4 feet to hit their pipe that they're needing to install. So there's a lot of soil in between there, and those boxes are, 24 inches deep. And so when I saw that, back in April 22nd, I came up and I was like, who do I talk to? So I was given a number, I think it's to Public Works, and contacted them, told them my concern. He said I will contact the contractor. And so then that same day, I texted him those pictures you have there, so he'd have a reference on what was going on. So he said he would speak with the contractor. And 7 days later, I texted again, asked for an update, and didn't get a response. So then 7 days later, May 6th or so, I texted the same text again. I didn't get a response. And so all during this time, I'm trying to see if that contractor will surface, so then I can get some kind of information and just be a squeaky wheel. I contact my HOA. They said, sorry, can't help you on this issue. I'm going across the same issue myself. Just try to get the contractor's contact information. So Roush Coleman, my understanding, I guess they merged. So the contact people I had there are no longer there available for me to ask questions. So June 2nd, I wake up in the morning and here's a couple more pictures. That's what I find in my front yard. Guys digging up, trying to locate the lines that were put in. And I talked to the gentleman there, and he said, the thing is, we can't find the line, so we're just going to have to dig around till we can find it. You come find out, the contractor that laid the line did not follow their plat, went around and circled an electrical box or something, and cut across my yard, and they finally located it. So, like I say, I'm not the only one with this issue. So I've got another slew of pictures that I took today of other people that have the same issue that I have.
So is this one where they came back and tried to put some sod down?
No, they haven't done that yet. They put the same sod that they took, the same sod they took out, and they put it back in there. So this is today's pictures of that same on my property. So I took recent pictures. Things have settled out. I asked the foreman for his boss's number, and he gave me his number. And it was a subcontractor with Quick Connect company, and that gentleman gave me his boss's number, which was the general contractor. I was finally able to contact him today, and spoke with him. His name was Iopa. Interesting name. Anyways, just share with you. It's Hawaiian, he said, and it stands for, or it's Job, like in the Bible. So I thought that was interesting. So I asked Job this morning about the project and to give me an update, and he said it'd take about another 2 to 3 weeks before they're done. They've got to finish doing some connections, and then they got to run fiber, and then restore, he said. He said, I'll tell you, I'm 2 to 3 months behind schedule. And so I found all that out today. So that was a good relief, because the whole thing was mainly finding information. I was just in the dark. I was just trying to find out what's going on here, because it colors your world. You get up in the morning and you're working hard in your yard, and, of course, you're trying to keep it green, and I'm sure the HOA will understand what's going on. And like I say, I'm not the only one out there that's experiencing that. And so I just thought I'd bring it to the board.
So the person that you talked to today was the actual contractor that is working for Rise Broadband. Is that correct?
He said he was the general contractor, the main, and the other people were subcontractors.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And I guess, the frustration, I guess, was it took 48 days to find this information, and I know you guys have structure, you guys have, we're a city on the grow, and it's just like I said, it colors your world when you get up in the morning and see this, you know, and a lot of this looks really good some places because the residents have gone back and just raked rocks and swept up and cleaned up, and I was lucky. I was going to put sod down on that area, and I'm glad I didn't because I woke up to that and I would have been pretty flustered, you know. But no.
Did the general contractor mention anything about coming back after they're done and fixing that?
Yes, he said, and actually the subcontractor said, what he told me was, he said, I won't tell you it's going to happen next week. He goes, it'll take 30 to 45 days. And that's fine. I understand things take time. But he said, I'm going around everywhere and making note of how much sod I'm going to need. And then I've got to put in an order, I guess a purchase order or something. He goes, and that way I make sure we get reimbursed. He goes, and then I'll get the sod, and then we'll come back. You know, but the general contractor did say restoration. He goes, we will restore. So that gave me a good feeling about it. You know, I guess I almost didn't come today, but I was on the agenda, and because before I didn't have all the information, and like I say, that's where I was just flustered. Just being a project manager myself, I understand, accountability, structure, all those words, and it just.
So I will tell you there is protocol, sir. When somebody actually comes into town and they're supposed to be doing something, the new developments are a little bit different, okay? And there's another subdivision, and for disclosure, I live in that area and it's on the other side of town. But whenever you have somebody that is going to come in and do something like that, they are supposed to talk to the HOA. There's supposed to be a conversation with that for the dissemination of the information and making sure that people know what's going on. So I would advise you to please talk to the HOA and find out, their involvement with this, because they should be included as part of the discussion with that. Zach, is that correct?
Yeah, normally that is typical.
Yeah, so normally that's how they get the info. Hey, we're coming to your neighborhood. We're going to, just like out here when Rise Broadband came in and they were going to the information got disseminated and it got passed out. So I knew the subdivisions are being done a little bit different because they have to deal with the developers and making sure, and the HOA that are out there, if they already have one established. But that's usually how they communicate. So I would ask you to go ahead and take care of that. But from the legal side, Austin, I think that's something that, directly with the contractor and with the company, right? To be able to get that stuff taken care of, in a sense.
And well, there's two sides of it, I guess. One being all this is supposed to get built to a certain standard and eventually get dedicated to the city. So to the extent it's not meeting existing requirements, then that would be one element. And then if it is, and we find that our requirements need to be amended to address some kind of issue like this, that would be something the city could do. How that would work with projects that are in the middle would be a question. They're already ongoing, but certainly for in the future, that's a recurring issue.
Well, but in this case, it's private utility. It's just broadband. We're not accepting it.
In that case, it's really just between us.
I think the thing is more the information dissemination and notification and understanding of what we're going to do. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do afterwards? I think that's the key. I noticed on one of the pictures, and I know Richie and I have had these conversations before, and some of us in here too, but when you have a truck that shows up and it's unmarked and they start digging, you don't know who they belong to, what they do. So I think that's one of the things that we should be, Yeah,
and I did reach out to to our contacts with Rise. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it this evening, but because it's not just Saddle Ridge where we're experiencing this. It's out in Twin Lakes we've had some issues recently with it too. So where they're extending into. So wanted to make sure that just as much attention that they paid to the rest of the city, that they're continuing to do that with these expansion areas that they're going into. So.
What did they say?
I told him that if we had, we would pass along some pictures. So if I can, keep some of these, that would be great.
I have some more here. So
and they obviously said that they would address it with their subs. So that's part of the problem is that they're hiring people out, and then it's not even Rise doing the work. So we're dealing with all these subcontractors.
Zach, if we can, let's go ahead and pass on the photos.
Yes.
And then ask them about how they're going to come back and recheck. Yeah, not only restoring, but also rechecking. Because if you notice in some of those photos, some of those are based on water flow. And those cracks is basically the dirt wasn't put in the right way, and the water literally created that.
Okay.
So
We can do that.
the good thing, sir, in some ways, is we're going to get some rain here in the next few days. So we'll see a little bit.
I just couldn't bail, so I'm ready for some
Be able to do a little bit of that, but honestly, I think we need to do. But we appreciate you bringing it up to our attention, so we can make sure that we put a little bit more when they come talk to us. That we start asking the questions. Hey, have you talked to the HOA? Have you notified every resident? Do they know what's going to happen? Just like Zach said, they did it when they were doing it inside, and your subdivision is inside the city limits, but because it's a new development, they communicate a different way when they're doing some of the work over there. But we can.
Well, I was just running the bases for I should have. Like I said, I did go to the HOA. Whoever I talked to, the lady there, she's the one that's heads. I don't know how it works out, but anyway, she's the one that sends all the emails out to us and stuff. And coordinator there, she said she was going through the same issue at her place, and. But what I'm hearing from you is they should have knowledge of this, the HOA.
If somebody's coming into the neighborhood and it's going to be installing something, the HOA normally is the one that sends out the information and gives all the residents a heads up of what's going to happen as part of the project.
And then they get a permit from the city for their
The HOA doesn't get the permit. It's still the contractor. The utility that is actually doing. They're going to do all that portion of it, but they still communicate that to the actual, and they should know because they're dealing with developers. That's part of the normal thing when the developers are coming in.
So who keeps the contractor accountable to the standard of the city as far as keeping it up to code and building that? Is that the city, or is that?
That's us going back and just looking at how they're doing. I know one time that we got called out, Public Works went out and addressed that. It's not so much the aesthetics, it's more of where they're actually putting this stuff down. That's correct. Is that right? Yeah. So the aesthetics portion, that's a portion that the HOA is supposed to work, because guess who writes you up?
Yeah, we got our letters, not a write-up, but we got notified on brown spots and other things, So
that's normally how it happens. Now, if there's something written inside your covenants, a little bit different with the HOA, it might be different, but they're the ones who are supposed to go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so now's your opportunity to hold the HOA accountable.
There you go.
That's going to be your first contact.
They're supposed to disseminate.
Got them down on that's first base to run to them. So
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And understandably, they're in transition mode too, so that, I'm not giving excuses to them, and that's probably part of it too, that they're not, with all the changes over in Saddle Ridge and the ownership, I'm sure that it got miscommunicated all throughout.
Yeah.
So if you have a contractor that comes in and says, we're going to lay this and it's going to be here and here and here and everything looks good based on the engineering, that's a portion that we get involved in, making sure that they actually take care of that. Now, I will tell you, things do happen. Now, over in your neighborhood, they actually hit a water line. And Pete and the crew had to go over there. It's like, okay, what were you doing?
That was a lonesome dove.
Yeah. So that's, those are the situations where now, okay, we actually gotten a little bit more. But at any time, sir, if there's any questions or anything, please contact us. Let us know so we can go ahead and deal with that. The general contractor, unfortunately, when you have subcontractors, sometimes there's not a lot of skin in the game about the quality and how they do certain things. They want to come in, take care of what they need to do, and they want to leave. And unfortunately, sometimes you deal with some of that. But the contractor's still liable to go ahead and take care of that.
It just felt like, they were just everybody doing what they felt was right in their own eyes, as far as contractors, and it just nobody minded the store. And so I was just wondering, where do I go? And so now I know, HOA. Do I pass these, go this way, or just hand them?
To Zach. Because Zach is going to go ahead and talk directly with the Rise Broadband folks too, so we can disseminate the information. I don't want to miss out. Council, is any questions or anything? Anything at all?
Going through the same thing.
Yep. And we'll put a little extra emphasis talking to those folks to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Well, thank you all very much.
Thank you for your time, sir.
And your patience.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. That one, consider possible action. Austin, I don't think we had any kind of on this one. Do you need anything from the council? On this one is on C. Consider possible action concerning request. And just say no action on that one? Get a motion?
On this item we just finished.
Yes.
No action.
So do we need to take nope? Okay. So just entertain no action on this one at all, Paola. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to D. Consideration and possible action concerning the purchase of a table and participation in the Texas Trail of Fame induction ceremony to be held on October the 23rd, 2025.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we were informed via letter to Mayor Gonzalez about the recent, approval by the board for the Texas Trail of Fame that they were going to be inducting Captain John Lytle, which obviously is our namesake. And so once we received it, kind of got some more information on it, and Mayor and I speaking, we felt like we should try to participate in some form or fashion, being that it is our namesake. I think the ceremony to be held, ceremony and dinner on October 23rd later this year, and then Saturday, October 25th, the actual star is unveiled. It's like $150 per ticket for the ceremony. But being again who they're inducting, we were interested in maybe getting a table, being a sponsorship level. The lowest sponsorship level was just $1,500, which would get basically a table reserved for 8 tickets, or eight spots. So wanted to bring that to y'all's attention. Not something that we have the money in our travel and kind of training budget in the general fund, but wanted to make sure that was something that wanted to do because it's kind of out of the ordinary. So.
Where does this take place?
It's in Fort Worth.
I guess they highlight pioneers, right? Texas pioneers, different ranchers. Back then, and he was one of the big cattle folks, movement of cattle in this area all the way to Kansas, if I'm not mistaken.
He was one of the biggest.
Yeah. So took
John Lytle.
Yeah. So they're going to go ahead and recognize, they do the star, and then they'll have the actual. Well, they'll have the dinner, right?
So the ceremony and dinner is on the Thursday, the 23rd, and then the star unveiling would be the Saturday. I would like to note that both the mayor and I have already said this. The star being Saturday, that's also the homecoming parade. So that's also one thing to note on that, that obviously we would not be able to be in attendance. But I think at least for the ceremony and the induction, which is where the table obviously would be secured for. So.
Unless one of you wanted to go to the ceremony, but we do have homecoming that day. So, what time is the unveiling?
So the ceremony and dinner is at like 7, if I'm not mistaken,
at 10
a.m.
which is when our parade will be going on. So but we can go to the dinner.
If they had done a night parade, we'd probably be back in time.
I don't know.
It's a good
part of the
drive.
ride.
I have a question on these sponsor levels. Is that yearly contributions?
No, it's just a one-time.
on the different sponsor levels?
Yes, that's correct.
Because I would like to be able to use our hot tax, and the reason I'm saying is because the $5,000 level, it includes a link on their website to our city, and then also to their Facebook postings, which is 4 times a year. So that should qualify for being able to use the hot tax.
I would think so.
Yeah, and that's why I would suggest the 5,000 level. Because to be honored like this, and then the city recognized as, you know, like you said, the namesake, that doesn't happen very often.
It does not. No. I know that Austin had said, you know, we kind of have to be a little careful with sponsorships like this coming from the city. So I don't know if you want to kind of chime in on any of that or.
Yeah, I mean, it's the general rule about using public funds for private benefit, like a nonprofit or something like that. As long as you can show you're getting something back that benefits the public. In this case, it didn't seem to be an issue because it's you know, promoting the city as a whole and drawing positive attention back to the city. For the use of the hotel tax, it goes a step further and it needs to promote tourism, specifically some people visiting the city. And I haven't gotten a chance to look at it from that angle, but you're saying you get
Right, you get a link from their webpage that links directly to the city. And it also has 4 postings published throughout the year of the company and our product, which is us, highlighted.
and it would be linked to like
To the city, our city website.
but it would be promoting, and this is a Hall of Fame, right? So it's like
Right.
they can see
They would see our logo and they'd have our.
It's promoting, hey, come visit where Captain Lytle's from.
we're kind of like, okay, so it's
Yeah.
like this. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. So Mayor, let me start by making a motion to sponsor at the $5,000 level and in participation of the Texas Trail and Fame's induction ceremony to be held on October 23rd, 2025.
Okay, got a motion on the floor for us to go ahead and have a sponsorship at the 5,000 level.
And that would be with hotel.
Yes, and to be utilized from the hotel tax, hot
Okay.
tax.
Okay, got a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Okay, got a second. Okay, discussion. So, Zach, so the sponsorship portion will get us the table,
Yes.
get us the meal.
Yes.
Is the 5,000 8 people?
It's still 8.
It's still 8?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, that was some of the other inclusions. in
Yeah,
that
so
5,000. It was
be 8
the table.
and it'll take care of that portion of it. We will still have individually, we'll have the costs for the...
Yeah, so I think when we originally talked about it, I think the city basically paying this $5,000, so we would find the 8 individuals that would be covered, but basically travel and staying in the hotel would be on cost of the person, whoever is doing that. So that way the city wasn't covered in those costs.
So our parade is on
It's the 25th in the morning.
25th.
Yes, which is the day they unveil the
They unveil the star.
The day of the what?
They unveil the actual star.
So 2 days before is the actual dinner, and then Saturdays when they unveil the star. So we would need to have somebody there for
At
that.
least somebody, I think, needs to be there for the star. But I know that we're paying, obviously, for the ceremony portion.
And we can work out those details individually. I'll let Zach talk to you all and look at your schedules and see, which one you would have flexibility. But just a reminder, just like I said, this is one of those things where there will be some personal cost incurred with this, just because it's the right way to kind of separate, the usage of the money. But it's a unique thing. It would be a great thing to be able to be up there, without a doubt, and be able to do that. So, be able to take care of that.
If anything, at least for the ceremony.
Yeah. You got any baseball games that day?
The dinner. Well, ceremony and dinner.
Up in Fort Worth? Paula might have a baseball game up in Fort Worth.
There you go.
See, she can represent us right there. She'll be down. She'll be down in the Star doing the unveiling with a photo. That'll be pretty cool.
That's right.
Actually, you know what? We'll do cardboard cutouts like we have a Dr. V, and you take those, and we all there right there, and we use it that way. Yeah. What do you think? We'll do that. Honestly, we'll do that. No, but we can work that out. Honestly, but I just want to make sure everybody's informed. There's certain things that we can do, certain things that will be in a personal note. Be able to do that.
I just want to reiterate the importance of this. This is really a nice recognition for the city.
Oh yeah.
To be on that.
Without a doubt.
I mean, you're a historian. You know a lot of significance of this.
Absolutely. It's our namesake.
Yes.
Yes, and it's a big deal. Yes, point of honor.
So we'll have.
It only happens one time, and sometimes not even that. So so it's a great opportunity.
So I think it would be good, but we can iron out the who attends which one and all that.
We'll send everything to them, let them know where we're at in the sponsorship level, and then we'll work out details on who and all that.
So we can let them know right now that we'll be there. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Okay, let's get to work. We'll take care of all that. And Austin, thank you for your guidance on source of funding and where we can actually use some of that. And we might come back if we find out some other stuff too. But I think this is a good start, and we can reserve our place, right, Zach?
Yes.
This will go ahead and take care of that.
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and move on to E, discussion regarding water restrictions under the demand reduction measures as outlined in section 42-109 of the Code of Ordinances.
All right, so Mayor and Council, we just wanted to, as we kind of talked about it, we went into stage 5. However, Edwards decided to immediately change that back to stage 4 almost a couple days later. But, since we're having this, kind of back and forth, we just wanted to, again, bring forth those measures that we've provided, make sure that we're speaking about them and being very transparent about the items listed. I know literally we had somebody come in the day after the stage 5 or shortly after, before they changed it back to 4, and wanted a pool permit, and literally we told them, sorry, we can't issue that, so which is one of our requirements. So and they were pretty disappointed, but I mean they understood. So it's just things like that. We just want to make sure we're out in the public and keeping these kind of relevant, as obviously we hope we're getting some more rain this week, which will help, but obviously we're still.
So the pool is stage 5, right?
No pool permit in stage 5. Stage 4, you can have a permit, but you got to show that it's filled by another means.
Other source of water.
Correct.
You use city water.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And then stage 3, I think you're supposed to cover the pool if you have a pool.
So I think in stage 1 you're supposed to cover them, but that obviously then follows in each of the stages, right? It continues that way, if I'm not mistaken.
So that one, just as an example, so it's got different versions, things that you can do. I know in there we also have you can't power wash your driveways and stuff like that. So those are some of the measures that are out there as a way to kind of help with the numbers that we can do. Other things.
Stage 4 with regard to pools is not as restricted as 5, but it's if you're draining the pool, it's got to be on the impervious. Usually we see impervious, but impervious surface.
Yeah. So you got to put it down and grow a little bit of grass or weeds, right?
Back in the ground.
Yeah.
Put it somewhere on there.
And we did have, at that same time, we did have somebody come in and ask for, they needed to repair the pool. Obviously, we can do that. But if they're going to be filling it, that's an issue. So
That's the other thing that goes along with it.
I was going to ask on this, do y'all have a copy of just the restrictions 1 through 5?
We have them on different sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, we have them on different sheets, and then we also post it.
I know it's on
if it changed, or whatever, we put it on the door out here, and obviously the marquee.
We've had other cities lately, because they're changing from 2 2 to 4 to 5 and back. And, we're just in that period right now that have had
I think on here, I mean, what we came up with, I think it's good, and then, we'll adjust based on things that happen, but this is a good working one, but we just need to make sure that people are aware.
Yeah.
I
did ask our the company doing our water and wastewater rate study. I did ask them to look at the drought surcharges as well, like we discussed last week, and so they're going to be hopefully pulling that in and then be making that presentation along with the water and wastewater rate studies at the budget workshop scheduled for the 16th. So hopefully that'll be a component of that. So.
We got I guess stage 3 is water fountains. No person may use the groundwater, so they can't use the city water if they have a water fountain. If they got their own well or some other way, they can do that, but you're not supposed to be using the groundwater for water fountains. So it's all listed in there. I think the big ones, Zach, maybe on the next bill, we can put a summary one in there, just like Austin was mentioning it as a way to be able to get the information, just to remind folks, especially.
I think what we've noticed, and I'm happy to throw stage 4 or 5, whichever we end up being at that time, in there, or both, since we're kind of teetering on both of them right now. We've been in stage 4 for a long time. I mean, almost over a year now. So I think people get a little complacent with that, and it's just status quo. So reminding people, and we're happy to obviously do that in the bills. So
we'll be able to do that. And I think the other thing we probably can do is probably start messaging a little bit more about conservation water.
Sure.
Reminding folks, hopefully we continue with this rain and it gets good, but it's always good to be able to get the word out as best as we can.
HOAs must abide by city regulations.
That's correct. Yeah. And that's always a big fight with the HOAs,
because I don't know if I heard correctly, but the previous person stated that brown spots were an issue and being sent letters.
My whole yard's brown.
I mean, that's if I have a brown spot. It's all dirt.
Brown spot is an oddity. Yeah. They got a water leak.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will tell you, I think our code compliance in the past have, they go talk. The issue is when somebody is watering and it's coming off the driveway, going down the street, basically they just turned it on and walked away. I mean, so I think it's a common sense thing. I think the issue is more with those folks that are actually just wasting the water. It's going down the road or going into the neighbors, because they left it running. It's 11 o'clock and they got the water going, in their front yard, and they don't have well water or some other.
Well, we'll make sure to touch base with them as well and make sure we disseminate the information.
Yeah.
So that way
that we're getting that
being
information.
true to everybody. So.
Yep. Any questions, council, on that one? Nothing at all? All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to department reports. And the first one that we have is Animal Care and Control. All right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
I'm happy to give the report for May. Let's see. I keep forgetting. Okay. So, let's see, our numbers here are for calls for service are 15, traps set were 2, animals euthanized 0, animals surrender 0, animals returned to owner 3, animal intake 22, adoptions 2, animal count 28 dogs and 27 cats as of May 31st. And but currently now we have 21 dogs and 23 cats, so it's gone down. We have 5 pups that transferred to the Humane Society last week. We have adoptions pending also. And we have the rescue also pending for 2 dogs also going to New Jersey soon. 4 cats have been adopted out recently. also. And we have the transfer to rescue from May 1st, which was Stevie. Let's see. Stevie, and you'll see him here, living his best life. He's happy. His owner loves him, his new mama. So he's doing good. And for Bella's Pantry, we have 70 pet owners received food, 9 new owners, and the first person in line was at 1:48 a.m. It's pretty early.
We did council. We did start early on that one.
Yeah.
We actually decided. So we normally start at around 7:15, 7:30. But if you remember, during that time is when we had all that rain.
Yeah.
So we were worried about the cars getting stuck. And so we actually started at 6:30 in the morning. So we got them through, and we kept the line very low, so we minimized the tear up of the road and the sides and everything.
That's good.
So we did tear up your area.
I saw that.
Do that. And Public Works came over to help us out, put some stuff down, and here we get this big old truck with big tires and just spread it all over. It's like, okay, well, guess what? We're going to go next to the next tree because
it looks good now, though.
It looks good.
Yeah.
And it's all dried up.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. Okay, so for events, May 3rd, we had Dragonfly Veterinary Clinic. May 10th, we had our Mother's Day adoption event. May 31st, we had Bella's Pantry with 70 clients. And there's just a quick, some quick pictures of the Mother's Day event there. Upcoming events, we will be having Dragonfly Vet coming out on June 14th. June 21st, we'll have a Father's Day adoption event at Bella's Pantry, June 28th. And that's it. Any questions or anything?
No, I just want to add, there should be a magazine that comes out of Medina County that is put together. They actually got interviewed. They made a little story about animal allies and animal care control, and they highlighted.
I can't wait to see that.
So it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'll be coming out. I got the preview of what they were going to put on it. So it's pretty neat.
Pretty awesome.
And kudos if they're listening to Marcus, putting all that together for you all.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
That's really good. Any questions, Council?
No.
Great. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Cassandra.
Come on back.
Loving it with all the kids.
Oh, yeah. It's been busy.
Summer. There's nothing to do at home. Let's go to the library.
Oh, no. I just finished that one. Yes. Okay. We had 130 computer users and 97 kids computer users. And then we checked out 1,245. It was kind of a slow month because with graduation and everything going on. And then, of course, we were down for about 5 days with no internet, so we were going back old school, writing everything on paper and to check out. And we had 12 users for the e-read and 44 for the loans. We're going to try and buy more books for I'm just waiting for them to set up an account for us to be able to buy the books for that. And then we had 16 new library card accounts. She renewed 17 accounts, and she made 22 library cards. And we're still doing story time. And actually, I need to change that library crochet group to it's Craft With Us. We have ladies every week. There's about 4 ladies coming every week. And it's just different people, ages 16 to adult. We actually have some younger ones as well. And we had training in Seguin 2 days in a row was de-escalation training, and then the next day was on a circulation policy. And then I had a Atascocita County Library Board meeting in Pleasanton on the 13th. We're still working on this. We had to take a little bit of a break because a lot of new books came in, so we had to put that on hold so we could get all the new books onto the shelf. And still offering the curbside. And there's our calendar for, I think this was May, yeah. And then that first one I think was Asian American Heritage, and the one in the middle was Mystery, and then of course I think Salsa, and then that one was Barbecue, and then the bottom one was Hamburger, top was Salad, and then that one right there, I'm not sure. Oh, it was Foster Care. Okay, I was trying to remember. That's it. Do you have any questions?
Had you not mentioned once about looking at the computer systems and trying to standardize the software?
Yes, everything. They actually got it to where we got the new computers with all of that, and they're still working on a few things that they're trying to get done, like getting the Microsoft on there, and we're still waiting on that. But they're available to the public, and it's easier now. So when they go in there, if they log in, it doesn't keep their information. So it's like a private browsing. It's so much better because before you created this account and you're trying to figure that out and trying to take it off of there. Yes, because you're like, how did you create a password? When did you create a password? And it's like somebody's account that they left up. So, but now it's easier. We don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So you're welcome.
So what you do is that crochet or
what? Yeah, it's crochet. Yeah, we do have a crochet group, ladies that come in, and there are other people doing other stuff like they're stitching something. So it's all
crochet gloves and stuff.
I haven't tried gloves.
What about scarves?
I do a few scarves, yes.
Because I need to send Haley some. They have to be a certain brown.
Oh, okay.
You got it good.
I'm going next week. Make sure you get a surprise.
See your skills.
She broke her brand new guitar. I bought her for Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
So she said, God's finishing it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to fix it. So I'm going to go and present her with a new one. Better one.
She broke it over there.
Nobody said it over there. She accidentally dropped it and broke the neck in half.
Oh, no. She was jamming out with all the...
She dropped it, or one of the girls dropped it. So I'm going to surprise her with a new one.
Okay.
Way to go, Dad.
That'll be good. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate it. All right, Public Works. Pete, come on. This gentleman was up all night. Let's see, we were texting each other at 4?
4 in the morning.
Yeah, 3:30, 4, something like that.
Like, oh, what?
So, no, just take care of business. So it worked out really good, and he's here, and then he's got another night.
Last night.
We're at 1:32. So we appreciate you being here. Appreciate it. I'll let you go ahead and present your information.
Alrighty. New meters installed. We had 3 main breaks. We had 4 replaced meters. We had 3. No, we didn't have to replace no service lines. Angle stops. We had 1. Meter washers 1. Service leaks. We had 3. Customer leaks. We had 2. No, we had 5 city requests for rereads and 0 for the customers.
0.
It's been a long time since we've read that.
Wow, 0 rereads from customers. That's good.
And no main stoppages too.
That's good. Your business.
We had two finals on H2O. We had 4 new H2Os. We had nothing on the cutoff list. No reconnects. We had 19 miscellaneous work orders. And one leak we still have is Bruce Street. And that's the only one that's left, out of all the leaks we had.
And that's a small, right?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to it this week. The water usage.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. And that's the one that was in coal mine, that water leak we had at the fire hydrant. We had
Oh, the one in the corner.
The corner, yes.
Okay.
I guess when they put it in, they put slip-on couplings. You just slip them on like for a sewer pipe, and that's what was leaking from the sides. So we redid it, and we put an elbow on there. They reduced it from a 6 to a 4, and all that's complete already. And that's our big leak we had that been a mystery, I guess.
That's water, Yeah. So took care of that.
Look, they're having fun.
That one was...
Those are the guys doing the fire hydrant behind Hacks.
Yeah. Behind...
Dr. Hacks.
Between 702 and...
Yeah, fire hydrant. They replaced that fire hydrant. It was a bad fire hydrant.
That was
one of the ones that actually...
Was that you were asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, we definitely needed to do that one. That one, we were having problems with that one. The bad thing was just the timing of when they were doing it or what they were trying to do based on what we were doing. So it was just bad timing overall.
And that's that.
Going back, this is back.
That's back on 35.
Yeah.
don't know if you can see right underneath the clamp, there's a big old rock. So we had there's a fire hydrant.
Are you going back and forth? Keeping us
I guess, yeah.
So council, and honest, since you can see the rock on that one. So the biggest challenge that for our city that we have is not so much the pipe or anything. I mean, honestly, everything is good. The problem is when they put some of these lines in, you can see how close these lines should have had 12-inch all the way around. Sand, dirt,
yeah.
And unfortunately, you started getting a little bit of a shift or anything like that, and that's what causes.
The next picture shows the rock break.
Yeah. So that causes a break on the line when you start getting a little bit of the shift that goes along with that. So, but this is all this stuff was done even before your time, right?
Yeah.
So it's been there years.
Yeah, this is the water line that goes to rolling
but
meadows.
It's not the pipe. People keep asking, well, we got an old system. No, it's not the pipe. It's the way the wire going through. What's that?
Right here. That wire.
That's a root.
That's a root.
That's a root.
What's a root?
Yeah. A root? Looks like a water.
Looks like a cave.
And there's a waterfall going into that creek.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, so these guys have been knocking it out. They've been doing a really, really good job of getting us to where we need to be. And as you can look at the map, actually we need to add another one with the one over on 35. We need to add it on there. That you can easily be able to tell how many leaks they've been able to knock out. So very efficient, getting their system where it needs to be. We've been able to figure out a way to keep it and maintain it, even though when we actually have like a fire hydrant issue, and we didn't lose it. We did put a notice out. Richie helped me out, put a notice out. We thought we need to go into a low notice, but the system held on. We kept it right at 45, 47, right around there.
Yep.
And that worked out really good. So, but it's been working out really good. Any questions for Pete? Anything at all? Please pass on to everybody. Please thank them. You guys have been working it, and now with this project, I know you guys are looking forward to getting done.
Yeah. Tonight will be the last night. So.
They'll give you a little bit of breather, hopefully, until we have the 12-inch main. But that's still months, in a sense of before we connect. It's more of the install and all that, so it'll be a little while, but it'll work out really good.
Good job.
Good job. So, you gonna stick around or you gonna take off?
I'll take around.
Okay. Yeah, I got other comments. I'll say a little bit later.
I have to go until 12 o'clock.
That'll be good. All right, Richie. Come on up.
Pretty much same old stuff there. 271 calls for service. Everything else looks pretty normal. 176 citations. Vehicle registration still the top one there. Pie chart for a more visual effect. Adult arrest. Wow, lots of arrests. I mean, it's keeping up that way. DWI, a lot of DWIs, drug paraphernalia. DWIs, drug paraphernalia. Some warrant services. Yeah, a lot of that type of stuff. A lot of DWIs. Thefts. Well, common denominator, many of those are, of course, they occurred HEB. Let me see, we got theft of an iPhone left at checkout, that's HEB. Kitchen and baking supplies, HEB. Purse containing credit cards, that's Lytle Apartments. And wallet containing IDs, Whataburger, which is property owned by HEB. Theft of 2 cases of beer, HEB. Theft of meat, HEB. Stolen property, HEB. Return some stolen property. Theft of merchandise, suspect split, HEB. Theft of 2 cases of baby formula, HEB. Theft of meat and ice cream maker, water, HEB. Moral of the story is, if HEB ever moves out, we're going to have to lay people off. Okay. Burglary, we had a vehicle burglary that was at the Roadster truck stop. We did actually find those suspects. Most of the vehicle probably was recovered. A Chromebook belonged to the school. School uses Chromebooks now, right? They realized it belonged to the school, so before we could get out to the house to get it recovered, they kind of thought it had a tracking device on it, which I don't know if it did or not, but that's not how we found it. So they took it and set out there on a trash pile and shot it with a shotgun. So, yeah. So anyway, we recovered it, but it's not much can't be repaired, let's say that. Let's leave it.
Know that they got to pay for it.
Yeah. They got a whole bunch of stuff they got to pay for. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get right on that. But burglary of a building, 888 Barber and Beauty Institute. We got this stuff back, and they didn't want to file charges. Burglary of a residence on Bruce Street. Another weird kind of scenario. Property belonged to two people. The one guy left. The one guy sold the house with the furniture in it. So the guy went and got the furniture out. And the people that bought the house, they said, "Hey, it was sold to us furnished." So, make a long story short, the guy got the furniture back for him, and they didn't want to file any charges. So, those are nice ways to end things. Identity theft, special events, a little bit of everything there. Officers were up there with SAP, was put on the bike rodeo at the school. We had National Day of Prayer down here. Had some classes, a CIT class, mental health officer class for a couple of the new officers, Barrera and Tafoya. Danny was up there at the plant giveaway, a couple school escorts, a couple more things at the school. Had a Crime Stoppers meeting we hosted up at the annex, and that's about on that. So we actually, some of us caught up, so we filed 12 suspects with 13 different charges with the Atascosa County Attorney's Office, 8 suspects with 11 different charges to the Atascosa County 81st Judicial District's Attorney's Office. So a tremendous amount of cases got filed. It happened to all fall, maybe when the submission dates, they all in that month. So that's a whole lot. If we did that every month, we'd be covered up with paperwork, because that's a tremendous amount of cases there. I mean, that physically, when we submit them, that would be a stack of like this, with video, DVDs, flash drives. I mean, it's a lot. And one case with Medina County, so that was a kind of busy month on the CID side, filing cases. We did a fire inspection for Restore Nutrition, a drink place on Main Street. Still a lot of back and forth with Rowan and some stuff with the school on their projects, but mostly just email threads at this point. And we're working with Medina County on that. Assisting outside, that's something we kind of added here. Let me see. We responded out to La Paz, which is in Los Palomas, but we got canceled. Then, of course, we had one on 35, and then we went to Los Palomas for reckless driver. We had a school bus accident we talked about last time that we responded to out on 35. Twin Lakes, we had a house fire, and then we responded to this Atascosa, I think, with an assault in the 18700 block of 35, which I think is kind of where that water leak was. If you come back down there, yeah, right there, just kind of right on the edge there. Background check stuff. Predominantly Danny, he only had 8 this month that he dealt with at the office and open records. Human resources for the period that ended 5/14. We're on a 28-day work rotation. So the period for 28 days, we had 15 hours of overtime, and really wouldn't have but about 3 or 4, but we did bring a person in because they were going to when they set the power across the interstate, so we didn't have, the schedule had already been done, so that's, not that, but that's just that. Vacation hours, 60.75 hours vacation used, 52 hours sick leave, 42 hours of personal leave used. And that's it, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Council?
Questions? And again, anything, Anna's new, not new, you're new to the council, it's hard to say new, but, anything y'all think you see, maybe you saw something somewhere else, another police report, something, if I can get the data, I'll get the data and throw it in there, and that way we've got it. We use this a lot historically to go back and find information, when we do our own research or when we get other people interested about things, we can go back. All that's on the website going back to 1999, August of 1999. Every monthly report. Might be one missing, but I think they're all there. And you can go back and see the progression. And I'm going to tell you, if you go back and look at August 1999 to today, you can almost just look through there and see Lytle as we have changed, and different things have changed. So, yes, sir.
The new drone. How's it going?
Well, we've only deployed it. We've only deployed it once. We did a felony warrant service in the trailer park, so we deployed the drone. Was able to go above air. Knew that the guy's vehicle was there. We believed him to be there, but we used it also for mobile homes. Like a lot of new subdivisions, the houses are very close together. So if we had a bunch of kids playing outside, we don't want to hit the house; it'd freak everybody out. Right. So we're able to basically get the drone operator calls to the arrest teams. It's clear. There's nobody outside. Everything's fine. It was not a super high risk warrant, but there is some history. So it was not a standard warrant. Went over there, boom, drone had the person fled. Had there been some other last minute something happened, and we could call off that arrest team immediately because we actually have full visual on at least the resident. So we deployed it then. We are going to get out and do some training with it, and get out. We need to search for some people at the sewer plant and things like that. We just have not done that yet, but we are. And unfortunately, we'll get back real quick. Unfortunately, we buy weapons and we buy ammo and tasers, and we really hope we never have to use them. And really, the drone, while we want to use it, we don't want to say, "Hey, we had 3 missing kids last month. We're sure glad we had our." We really prefer not to have to use it at all. We prefer not to use any of our equipment, which is much different from when I was in business. Everything you bought, you wanted to use. And in our line of work in law, I had to go to a different mindset. We want to buy all this, but we don't want to have to. We don't want to have to use everything we buy. We want to have it if we need it.
So there might be some connection there with public works too.
Oh yes. Yeah, we've got. We talked about a lot of stuff, but unfortunately, with us, we're new to it, so it's not the first thing that comes to our mind. And once we get kind of rolling better, I think we'll see it more utilized a little more. Yep.
It'll be good.
Anything else?
Rich, I do want to say thanks, especially this weekend. I know we're going to go into break and then executive session, but in case you leave, and I do also want to mention with Pete, but thank you, Richie, this weekend too, with that accident scene that we had right there and just controlling everything and just taking care. I worked out primo.
You were there
for the first time ever. I think we had, there was like TxDOT showed up, and then CPS showed up, and then when we got done, next thing you know, here they come and they're putting in a utility pole, and we're like, what?
It was kind of scary because I've never seen it ever happen like that. It went so smooth, and those lights literally were just cracked into little small pieces. I guess they had retrofitted an LED in there, but the lights themselves, there's no telling how old they were. They were so brittle when they hit the ground. Of course, you got a live power line, and you still get a few people. I got cussed a couple times, I live over there. Well, sir, it's probably safer. Let's just probably better safety wise to make the block than let's just get this secure.
Yeah.
But it worked out very well. We had public works there, but that's the deal. But the mayor was there basically all 2 hours. Probably the mayor was there. He's good. He doesn't bother. It's good because he calls all them people. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. So that worked well. We had public works there. We had fire department. We had CPS. And we were on the phone with the railroad because when that power goes down, the crossing loses power. Luckily, they do have a battery backup. I learned about. I didn't know they had. For it lasts a little while.
A special shout out to Fabian from CPS Energy. He was the guy that said, look, if the pole goes down, you're going to lose that other line. So he literally disconnected a line and actually took care of the pole and then ran it back.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Great. Without that, it would have delayed everything. Yeah. What happened was a guy in a big RV, big like motorhome, like an intertown, like George Strait would be on or something, or I don't know, whoever would drive it. Anyway, the one like Gabe rented once, he was in up here. Remember that? Yeah, it's cool. So anyway, but the guy had a big old Via bus hooked up. A big son of a gun. You could have put everybody in here and then some. And he had like a little tow thing like you probably got a Harbor Freight. It's pretty light duty. And when he come across the tracks, he turned, but that bus just kept on going. And luckily, I mean, I'm glad with enough, luckily that pole slowed it down because it could have potentially went into a house, I guess, right?
Then I heard from some of that he actually turned quicker because he was trying to avoid a vehicle.
Oh yeah, I don't know. But in regarse, it could have been real bad. Nobody got injured. It was just hot.
But it all worked out and it was taken care of. Going to try to take care of that. But thanks, Richie. Appreciate all that and a few other responses that we've had. Hey, Pete, didn't want to miss out also for council because I want to make sure that he gets some rest and everything. I already thanked them for a few projects, but the other one I was going to say a little bit in case you need to go. I want to personally thank you all. Thank Parks also because for graduation, when the TxDOT contractor was supposed to be out there to cut the grass, you guys stepped in and took care of the primary. We had Parks and the other person that was taken care of over at 2790. So we appreciate the last minute just to be able to take care of it. We were hoping that that contractor would show up and take care of that, but it was done, and I think everybody was happy, be able to take care of that. So I'll be able to do that. So thank you for you all doing that. Okay, with that in mind, it is 8:10 right now, and what we'll do is, if it's okay, we'll do the same thing, save ourselves a little bit of time. We'll take a 5-minute break. Go ahead, and if you want to get some food, take it into the executive session. We'll come back, and then we'll actually start the executive session and go back over there. So potty break, grab food, be able to do that. It is 8:10 right now, and Paula, if you can go ahead and show us going into break for 5 minutes, okay? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Paula, if we can actually show, it's 9:26 right now. We're going to go ahead and come back from executive session and no action taken. And we'll go ahead and move on to item number 10, discussion and possible action regarding matters discussed in executive session. And we will have no action taken on that too. Okay? We're good, Council? Austin, we're good?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to number 11. There's the informational items. We'll go ahead and start back over here. Paola? Anything?
No, well, yes. All I have is, just our seniors bingo. They're going to have it, they are doing it on the 17th. Instead of doing it like on the Thursday, because that was the day they had available. So it'll be the 17th from 1 to 2:30.
The 17th.
Next week.
Oh, next week.
Yes.
We have a flyer? Okay, send me the flyer. Send me a flyer so we can put it out. Good.
I just want to remind general public that we have the as we're shifting away from 132, we're going to be shifting over here to McDonald and Railroad for work with Ace Construction. So we've been coordinating with the businesses, obviously along McDonald and along Railroad, even though most of them face Main Street. Just wanted to indicate that you will start seeing work done and boring going on for all of that. So just keep a vigilant eye out as construction moves. So, yeah.
Got plenty.
Yep.
That'll be good. All right, anything in the back? Austin?
Nope. I'm just up stretching my legs.
You're good. Anna, anything you want to share?
Yeah, Immaculada Conception Church in Coal Mine will be having an enchilada sale on June 28th. 3 enchiladas, rice and beans, and a salad with a drink, $10. And there'll be a little raffle for I don't know how much the raffle is. A 50-inch TV and a 5-piece patio set. So.
Okay. Send me the flyer.
I'll send it to you.
So we can send it out?
Yeah. June 28th. Yes.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Everything's been running good, so.
That's awesome. No, but little by little. We get retirement of our father, or
what's that?
Is he retiring?
My wife?
No. Padre.
Who?
Priest.
Oh, he's gonna stay one more year.
1 more year. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
He was gonna be not retired, but he was gonna go to Somerset because the bishop told him to lay down, relax a little bit. that he needed a smaller parish to go to. So his plans are to go to Somerset, but
Is that in a year?
in a year now.
Okay,
1 year.
in a year. Okay. Okie dokie. Well, he still has a few things to take care of.
Yeah, here's what he said.
Imagine that. Nothing at all. Okay, a few things to go ahead and cover. I want to say first, thanks to David for the coverage. Appreciate it while I was actually gone. I know it was a little bit of a quiet one.
It was
Those
quiet.
are great, but I appreciate you being there, taking care of that. I want to say special thanks to the city staff for taking care of payroll. I know this last time we needed to go a little bit of old school, but I just wanted to remind folks, it's funny, but the city was still doing manual checks up to 2018. We were still doing it the old-fashioned way. 2018 is when we went to, that was June of 2018 that we went to direct deposit, so come a long way being able to take care of that. I do also want to say congrats to our graduates and families at all school levels. A lot of proud papas and mamas with all the different kids. A lot of activities going on with that, and of course now with all the summer stuff, whether it be religious schools or summer school or camps that are out there. Special congrats to Lytle ISD for the completion of a very successful school year. Very, very good year for them, both in the classroom and out in the court, in the field, out in the field, with our band. I mean, just unbelievable year. Just laid the groundwork for future years to come. Yep. So it was a great successful year. So kudos to Dr. B and the whole staff out there. Congrats to Lytle Education Foundation too. I've heard that they had a great run fundraiser. They raised about $10,000. So that's pretty good for the initial one. So good on them. Do want to remind on the 14th of June, this Saturday, First Responders Breakfast for Masonic Lodge. I sent out the flyer already, but they're inviting anybody with the first responders to come on by. And Richie and everybody else has that on there. We're still looking, Zach, at completion of the sidewalk project around June, July timeframe. So we're getting very close to getting that done. We're hoping to get that done before school starts up again. So that's hopefully it all comes out. Do want to also remind we have next Monday budget workshop.
16. Is it next Monday? Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is
yeah,
next Monday. Yeah.
The 16th. Yeah, next Monday. So we got a budget workshop. So make sure you annotate your calendar. So we'll see each other here for that meeting. 4th of July right around the corner too. We need to get that flyer out. So, you already have it? Send it to me. Send it to me so we can send it out. 17 July, we have the other outreach coming up. Do we remind our council members that we still need to go ahead and take care of financial disclosure forms? So if you haven't turned them in, please get them. If you need a little bit of help, we can help you out with that, but we need to get them into Paola and be able to take care of that. Okay, and then if you have any committee members that are still, we're trying to fill them, please, let's go ahead and get that information turned in so we can go ahead and take care of those individuals. And the last thing that we got to do, we got to take care of one individual. Got to take care of one of our council members on the 19th. Celebrates his birthday. Be able to do that. And Richard is going to turn 25. He gets the insurance break that goes along with that. So if you all can join me. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear Richard.
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish. There you go. There you go. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
And you can make it a double cake. How's that?
I love these. Don't tell my wife I ate them.
In the old days, Richie would get it on there.
I'm talking about my son.
Okay, with that in mind, any last minute, anything else?
Just
The budget meeting on the 16th, what time is that?
6:30.
Okay.
Just real quick.
Yes.
For anybody that's interested, the dirt parking lot behind the primary school was in the budget to be paved. paved. They put the fence up around it today, the construction fence, so they'll start working on that probably tomorrow.
The one right next to your house?
Right out my front door, yeah. That's going to, that hole where they drive through to pick their kids up and go, it becomes a mud pit when it rains, and that's all going to be paved.
Yeah.
And that's overflow parking for this.
Yeah, so they're going to have parking, the school is going to get extended, and then on your side, they're going to have a half oval, that's where the buses are going to pull in.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'd rather have nice grass out there, but still, it's better than having an apartment building out my front window. So we can still see the sunset. So
That'll be good.
We're happy about that.
So if you have a party at your house, you have a nice parking lot.
Yeah, or if you want to go roller skating, it's right out my front door. Yeah.
Tailgate. Tailgate over there.
Yeah.
Tailgate over at your house
All right.
before a game. That'll work out. All right, with that in mind, it is 9:35. And can I have a motion for us to go ahead and adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All yeas. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Make sure you get some goodies that are still back there. Thank you. Austin, thank you for being here.